This is CBC Here and Now.
"15 months after a storm blew the roof off Churchill Square, businesses and people are moving back in.
It's very important. It's cultural, it's traditional. It's a time when family and friends get together, reunite, people come from and wave.
A shorter season, 7 days to be exact.
But DFO says the science backs it up.
Still a small.
It's nice when you're able to show someone something, and instead of getting defensive, they jump to immediately putting it right.
And put it right, they did.
Inspired by our Access Denied series, St. John's businesses started stepping up. Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Jeremy Eaton.
Well, let's get to the story many are talking about tonight. With big tensions over Canada-US tariffs, Premier Dwight Ball has penned a letter to the ever-tweeting President Trump.
His hope that Come From Away could spark some meaningful conversation.
I think that Newfoundlanders and Labradorians would be a security threat to the Americans is really why, I did what I did today.
Ball penned a letter to Trump inviting him to a showing of the Broadway smash hit and to discuss the history between Newfoundland and Labrador and our American neighbors. He tweeted out that invitation early this morning. Come From Away tells the story of thousands of American passengers who were stranded in Gander during 9/11. The Premier told CBC he was using the play to remind the President that the province and the United States have supported one another for a long time.
Premier Ball sent out a picture of that invitation to Trump around 6:30 this morning, and it didn't take long for Twitter to react. Dwan Street weighed in, saying simply, he offered tickets for Come From Away. Tickets for Come From Away. Now, she signed that tweet with a JMJ. I'll let you figure out what the first letter meant, but the M stands for Mary and the J stands for Joseph. Now, as for Barbara Young, she wasn't a fan. She describes the offer as grandstanding in an already serious situation. And of course, it wouldn't be Twitter if the jokes didn't roll in. Here's another take on the strange situation. Scumbag Newfie says, I don't know about you, but my tax dollars will not be paying for Ball and Trump to go on a date. Comedian Mark Critch kept weighing in, but here's a more serious one, with him calling on the province to start using Come From Away to help sell the province to those sitting in the Broadway seats. Buy an ad in the program, he suggests. Each show has 1,000 possible tourists who have disposable income. And finally, the man behind some of the music from Come From Away, Bob Hallett, was also a little taken aback. Either the Premier knows something we don't, or this is the strangest publicity stunt I've seen in a while. So when the CBC spoke with Premier Ball earlier today, we put that question to him. Was the invite all a ploy to distract from this weekend's Liberal leadership review?
No, not at all. This is really, what I've seen in recent days coming out of the G7, coming out of Trump's comments about Canada being a security threat. This is too important of an issue. This impacts Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, is impacting Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, and can have more impacts, negative impacts on our province. So it was time for me to step into this. We've been involved and engaged now for well over a year, not directly with the President, but with trade officials and with governors, with senators, with ambassadors, and so on. But really right now it was timely that we send a message to the administration.
In the meantime, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister was in Washington today. Chrystia Freeland told senators that it's absurd that Canada be considered a national security concern. Her visit is part of a renewed effort by Canadian officials to work with U.S. politicians and business leaders to convince the Trump administration to lift its steel and aluminum tariffs.
We in Canada do have a very strong appreciation of the authorities of the legislative branch, and so it's important to have a conversation with U.S. legislators, with the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to let them hear directly from us about what's happening.
Freeland had an hour-long meeting with that committee. She says she reiterated Canada's position that imposing the tariffs for national security reasons is illegal under World Trade Organization rules. Freeland meets tomorrow with the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer to talk about NAFTA. Closer to home now, 50 people in Nain are now being treated for tuberculosis. That's up from 6 suspected cases in April, although health officials say the spread of the disease is slowing down. There are 23 people with either confirmed or suspected active cases. 27 have latent TB with no symptoms but still require medication. Labrador Grenfell Health increased its efforts to screen and treat tuberculosis in the community following the death of a 14-year-old boy. Gussie Bennett was suspected to have died from TB in March. An X-ray machine has been stationed in the community. So far, 254 people have been X-rayed, with another clinic scheduled for next week.
Wind ripped off part of the roof, then another storm hit before repairs could be made. That 1-2 punch knocked out part of Churchill Square in St. John's for months. But now the building is mostly back in working order. The CBC's Katie Breen is live outside tonight. Katie, what's going on down at the square?
Well, there's a lot of movement happening. 53 residential units and 12 commercial spaces were shut down when that weather hit, but now 15 months later, they're starting to open back up. Signs in windows, life in the building. About half of the commercial tenants are moving back in despite what happened.
I was in Calgary, Alberta, and I was actually on the phone with one of my teammates here, and the ceiling started to fall on her. Water just basically permeated through everything very quickly.
By Sharp Design was first opened in the square in 2013. The event decor business was in limbo during repairs. It opened a temporary location, but family ties made the owner go back.
My grandparents actually had a variety store, a very booming business for quite some time called Hunts Limited, which was also in Churchill Square, and I sort of grew up in that environment and loved it.
The store faces are filling up, and so are the residential units upstairs.
We've had tenants here over 30 years. The majority of those are returning and looking forward to moving into their home, as they call it.
Tenants were placed in apartments around the city when the storms happened, and now they're moving back into a completely redone space. The building was built in the 50s, and in order for it to reopen, it needed to be brought up to today's code. They had to get rid of asbestos, add sprinkler systems, fix the electrical, improve the fire alarm system, rip up the flooring, and change out the plumbing. The walls were stripped down to the concrete.
We've upgraded and included new dishwashers, microwaves with exhaust fans, all new stainless steel appliances, fridges and stoves.
It looks good, and better than that, the owner says it won't blow away.
We're very confident that the building will stand up. We've had a couple of beautiful dandy storms since the roof incident, and we've weathered the storm.
3/4 of the residential area has already been reopened, and the owner anticipates that the remaining portion will be open by mid-July. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Katie Breen in St. John's.
Vale's announcement for the Voisey's Bay mine to go underground is being enthusiastically welcomed by Labrador's business community. The mine is just 30 kilometers from Nain, so a renewed push to get the elements out of the earth could mean significant benefits for nearby towns and more jobs for the residents. Jacob Barker has that story.
The sound of construction at the Voisey's Bay mine site may not be so melodic, but it will be music to the ears of many in Labrador.
To know that it's going ahead, it's good for the business community, it's good for the whole community, it's good for everyone that's working at the project right now. We wanted something that was going to be still going after our project across the river was coming to an end.
While work is beginning to ramp down at the Muskrat Falls site, Voisey's is promising 1,700 direct jobs at the underground project and 4,800 jobs at the peak of its construction. People here hope that will equate to work for them.
This is a huge opportunity for some of our people to get, good quality, permanent full-time jobs.
The Labrador Aboriginal Training Partnership recently graduated a class of 10. A 4-week pilot project at a Norcad underground mine training facility in Sudbury, a project they believe was a success.
The program went over well. All our clients were successful. It went over really well. The clients learned everything about underground mining, everything from the drilling aspect to the blasting to the scooping, to becoming safe underground, even just what it feels like to be underground.
But even with the underground mine a few years away from completion, the students have the opportunity to get in on jobs for the construction phase of things too.
If they were successful through the program and they went through valet, there is an interview process that they have to work through. So once the construction company has been officially recognized and made known, then we will inform that company that these are our first 10 individuals that went through this Common Core program.
Well, the next intake for the program is likely this fall, and Jack says it is hard work and it is out in the elements, not for everyone. But this course is one way to figure out if it's something that somebody might do, and if you do well at the program, it might mean a good job for you down the road. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
The food fishery is set to open in less than 3 weeks, and this year it will be shorter. But as Peter Cowan reports, with a drop in the cod stocks, some are just happy there's a season at all.
When fishermen head out on the water this year, they'll have 7 fewer days in order to catch cod. The recreational cod fishery is going to be shorter this year. The reason? Science shows that there are fewer cod out on the waters. There's been an unexpected drop. And so they found a balance between taking some cuts from professional fishermen while still leaving a recreational fishery as well.
There is a historical attachment to cod in our province. We do see it's a cultural, it's economic, it's historical. And we wanted to be able to give an opportunity for people who traditionally fished in the past, teach their kids how to fish, and to allow that to continue.
Officials don't know exactly how many fewer fish will actually be caught because of the shorter season. That's because they don't know how many fish are taken. There's no tag or log system to record the catches. For the past 2 years, DFO has tried to find some sort of system that would give scientists better information about how many cod are being caught, but they haven't been able to find any sort of consensus, so they've dropped the idea, at least for now. The group that represents hunters and fishers in Newfoundland is glad to see that they were able to preserve at least most of the recreational fishery.
When it's open on the weekends, it gives almost everybody a chance to get out. You're never going to please everybody. But, it does make it a lot safer and does make it a lot fairer.
The decision on this year's recreational fishery dates comes much later than it did last year. Officials blame the fact that they had new science they needed to do consultations about in order to make this decision. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
Speaking of cod, the FFAW isn't too happy about this year's quota for northern cod. Federal Fisheries is allowing a catch of 9,500 tons. That's down 25% from last year's quota. The union calls that dramatic of a reduction and ignores the impact the lower quota will have on hundreds of communities in the province and the thousands of people who rely on that fishery. The fish union says science shows the weather and other environmental factors caused a reduction in the cod numbers, not the fishery. So now it's time to bring in probably the most popular person on the set tonight. That's Miss Carolyn Stokes.
Definitely not after today.
No, it was a pretty messy day, Carolyn.
Oh, it was windy, it was wet, it was cold. Yeah, not a very nice day. And it's going to stay cold for the next few days.
Did we break double digits here?
We did, barely. Woo! 11 degrees. That's where we're going to begin, actually. Let's have a look at some of the highs for today. 11 degrees for St. John's. Yep, that's as warm as it got today. In Badger, 12 degrees. So I guess that was the hot spot, Badger and Gander today at the balmy 12 degrees. And in Labrador, Makovic, got up to 1 degree, so yeah, very, very chilly day. And we actually have a frost advisory in effect for the Corner Brook, Deer Lake, Grossmoor, and Bay St. George area. So if you are in that area, you'll want to cover up any frost-sensitive plants that you have. Now this evening we will have some flurries and some early evening showers, but that should push off overnight tonight. And we're in for a largely clear day for some areas tomorrow, a bit of cloud cover in the east, but then we have this system that's going to be moving up, bringing some more rain. Won't see it until the evening time along the southern part of the island, but yeah, it is going to bring some rain to parts of the island. Labrador is looking pretty decent tomorrow. I'll have all those details a bit later.
Thanks very much, Carolyn. Well, our award-winning Access Denied series last fall highlighted lots of shortfalls and design flaws in our community.
The series focused on what day-to-day activities are like for people with different kinds of disabilities. And now some positive news to report.
There have been some improvements. Ramona Deering has more.
Ooh, button. This is new.
And for Ashley Martin Hanlon, very welcome. It wasn't there last fall when she visited the Elizabeth Avenue jumping bean. The door too heavy to open without help. The franchise owners had complied with all the rules, but still decided to make improvements. Now the career woman can keep her independence.
Huge change. So glad to see it.
And there's more. The owners plan to renovate the accessible stalls to prevent this from happening again.
So I don't actually have room to turn my chair.
Their new franchise on Kelsey Drive has a washroom everyone can use.
So there's lots of room in here. What an awesome response. It's nice when you're able to show someone something and instead of getting defensive, they jump to immediately putting it right.
And that's not all. Gary Hall lives in this wheelchair-accessible apartment building in St. John's. He likes to get out and about as much as possible. But there was no curb cut in front of the door he uses. This was last fall. To get into an accessible taxi, the driver had to do this. But a contractor has since installed the curb cut. No small change for Hall.
The curb cut makes a huge difference. If I'm in an accessible cab, they don't have to tip me back and put me over the curb.
And there's Kim White, who has a hard time reaching to do the dishes.
Well, ideally an accessible sink would be open at the bottom. So whether you open the cupboards and do a cutout.
She wrote a commentary about housing issues. A local contractor saw it and contacted her. He does renovations to help seniors live in their homes longer. He wanted White's advice on improving accessibility.
It really sends a message that people are starting to understand that there are things that they can do.
She says it feels like people with disabilities are slowly gaining ground. Ramona Deering, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, some improvements made there, obviously, and the Access Denied series really was able to get a point out across to some people.
And people obviously listen, so good work, Ramona and the team who put that together.
In St. John's, there's 364 licenses. Nobody else can get them. They're black marketed out there now.
The St. John's Cab Company was looking to branch out, but hit a roadblock in the city.
Now, Newfound Cabs is Mount Pearl bound. That story is just ahead.
There's been a shake-up in the local taxi business. Newfound Cabs has struck a deal to buy Mount Pearl-based Valley Cabs. Owner Albert Newell says he tried to expand Newfound's business in St. John's, but found the road was blocked. Here now's Zach Gowdy spoke with him.
So, Mr. Newell, tell me about the move you've made today.
Newfound Cabs has bought Valley Cabs out in Mount Pearl and to go further with Newfound. I went to the city of St. John's to get some more licenses, and there were none available, so I see an opportunity. Me and Mr. Grant have been talking the last couple of months, and I got some licenses in Mount Pearl to come in here, and me and Mr. Grant just come to a deal and I bought Valley Cabs.
So what kind of an expansion does this represent for you in Newfound?
Well, Newfound will go roughly to 110 cars now, and we're going to replace a lot of the cars here in Mount Pearl and put more better cars and more good service, you know what I mean, try to get the Valley customers back that we had.
Can you explain to me how the taxi license system works? If I ask the city, whether it's St. John's or Mount Pearl, for 10 more licenses, do I get them? Are there a fixed number of licenses? How does all this work?
In St. John's, there's 364 licenses. Nobody else can get them. They're black marketed out there now. I mean, I buy them myself. And with Mount Pearl, there's 35 licenses in here, and I'm going to pretty well have 35 cars on it within time. And they won't give you no more to go, but a volume of people that move here, and they only does it every 4 or 5 or 6 years.
So the opportunity to expand in St. John's was just, that door was closed?
That door was closed. So they didn't get back to me, so I figured they wanted to close it.
How about the cab companies themselves? Will people still call a Valley Cab in Mount Pearl, or will you rebrand these as Newfound Cabs?
No, everything is going to become Newfound, but Newfound is going to direct their number into my phones on Thornton Road. We'll dispatch from there.
So you can still call the numbers you're used to?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Would you have preferred to just get 20 or 30 additional taxi licenses in the city of St. John's?
No, I'm a bit excited to be in Mount Pearl. This is really good in here. I mean, there's a lot of good feedback in here, a lot of good drivers here, a lot of good people in Mount Pearl. So yeah, Mount Pearl is where it's going to be now for now.
So the question then becomes, are you considering expanding further to other municipalities perhaps?
I'll get back to you on that, Zach. You'll be the first one on the phone.
Stay tuned to find out what One George Street Bar is doing to honor the time that Anthony Bourdain came to town.
get a free education. You get everything paid for you.
Next year we'll see him at the 2. English? Yeah, how about it? How do you like English?
Things don't always go as planned, and I didn't expect this to happen. When you're in Europe, you're like a rock star. It's a dream, I guess. You're just following your dream.
That promo, of course, for the Carl English documentary is going to air tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7 Island time, which means Here and Now will be shortened 30 minutes tomorrow. And this guy had a big hand in this documentary.
Yep, I've wanted to make this film for a long, long time, but when I went down to Mile 1 to watch the Edge play, you'd see all the little boys and girls with their jerseys on that say Carl, number 23 on the back, Carl English, number 23 on the back. And then it got me to thinking that there's a lot to Carl English's story that people don't remember, and a lot of the young people wouldn't know at all. So I wanted to go back to the beginning, and you can see that old footage from 1997, young Carl. And, you know, obviously there's a tragic start to his story. There's triumph. It's a roller coaster of emotions, but it's pretty impressive that a kid from Patrick's Cove could become one of the greatest Canadian basketball players and one of the best players in Europe in the last couple of years.
Okay, so we're looking forward to that, 6:30 tomorrow.
And Carl has so many different hairstyles. You can watch that for that alone. The dark hair, the blonde hair, as he says, the receding hair, anyways. But yeah, so check that out. It's the Home Court, the Carl English story, and that'll be on the back half of the news. But now, more importantly, what people want to know about is the weather.
The weather, yeah. I wish I had better news for everybody.
You got better hair, though, than Mr. English, so.
Well, I don't know about that. His hair's pretty cool. But anyways, let's get to our weather on the way headlines. So yeah, this is the picture for the next couple of days. Tonight we are looking at that risk of frost in the west, and we do have that rain that will be moving in for the southern part of the island on Thursday night. And we do have that chance of showers for Saturday. I'll get into that a little bit later. So this is the picture. We are looking at a few showers in the northern area and on the west coast this evening, but that should clear off as the night continues, and we're looking at a mainly cloudy evening for most places, and we do have this risk of frost, as I just mentioned, for the Corner Brook area, Gross Mourne, Deer Lake, Bay St. George. So yeah, it's going to be cool overnight there tonight with the clear skies, so you'll want to protect any frost sensitive plants. So this is the picture for this evening. The winds are going to stay fairly strong throughout the night, should start to taper off by the time we get to the morning. A low of 3 degrees for St. John's. Pretty cool for the entire island tonight, and we do have that mix of snow and rain for the straits. That should clear off, though, pretty early tonight. So as we head into Thursday, a largely cloudy day for most places. The winds, as you can see, won't be too much of a factor tomorrow, but we do have that system that will be moving in later in the day, bringing some showers to the island. So yeah, you can see this the showers along the coast there. That's for much later in the afternoon. Temperatures, you can see, still not great. 7 degrees is what it's going to get to tomorrow in St. John's. A little bit better for central areas, 14 degrees with cloudy skies, 15 in Corner Brook. So a little bit nicer as you go west, but staying pretty cool here in the east. For Labrador, no precipitation to worry about there. Some cloudy skies for Nain, and temperatures staying fairly cool, but Labrador City and Churchill Falls getting up to 13 degrees tomorrow. So Thursday, yes, as I mentioned, we have those showers that are coming through and persisting through to Friday. So Friday is looking like it's going to be a fairly gray, drizzly day for the island. So I'll get into that and talk a bit more about the weekend later.
Well, still plenty of reaction to Anthony Bourdain's unexpected death,
including at a George Street bar that had its own memorable moment with the chef. So Bourdain was on the island back in the fall filming his CNN show, Parts Unknown. While he was here, he went hunting and fishing with the likes of renowned local chef Jeremy Charles.
He called Newfoundland incredible, saying we have some of the best meals in North America. The world-famous chef, author, and TV host died by suicide in a hotel room in France last Friday. Now, one of the places Bourdain visited was Christian's Pub in downtown St. John's, where he took part in that age-old tradition of getting screeched in. There he is, kissing that cod.
Well, in the tribute to the late, great chef, the bar has hung this plaque which reads, Anthony Tony Bourdain, proud honorary Newfoundlander. Amid tensions between the Canada and U.S. over tariffs, Premier Dwight Ball has reached out to President Trump for a play date. The details are coming up.
Welcome back, and now back to our top story. Dwight Ball is weighing in on the war of words between Canada and the U.S. over tariffs. The Premier has written Donald Trump inviting him to be his guest at a performance of Come From Away in New York City so the two could talk about trade and relationships. Here's the Premier speaking with the CBC News Network, Andrew Nichols, that is, about 2 hours ago. Andrew asked him why he extended the invitation.
Andrew, after many months and negotiating, participating in various meetings on NAFTA with our Team Canada, has been mentioned already. When you look at the Team Canada approach, it included representatives from all Canadian parties, from organised labour, from Indigenous communities. In June of 2017, along with many other Canadian premiers, we went to Washington and brought our Canadian story and the history of the trade relationship that we've had with Americans. And now, when, upon reflection of June of 2018, I look back at those months, and I think that in actual fact that we're no further ahead at all. In actual fact, my own assessment would say that we are a little worse off in June of 2018 than we were in 2017. And just recently, watching events unfold at the G7, listening to the comments about security, we are a threat to security for Americans. And this does not represent the relationship that Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, that Canadians would have had with Americans based on trade. So I sent out a tweet this morning inviting the President Trump to come and see Come From Away, because this really reflects the relationship that we have with Newfoundlanders and Labradorians that have existed for decades with our American colleagues.
So you'd go where, New York or Toronto, where it's playing right now?
Well, you know, I'd go wherever it's convenient for the president, if it's in Toronto or if it's in New York. The message is simply, as Newfoundland and Labrador, we have been working side by side with Americans for many decades. We can go back to the history of military bases in our province. But I think in recent times, when you look at the success of Come From Away, this was really a recognition of how Newfoundlanders and Labradorians have stepped up. In one of the world's most darkest times, it was Newfoundland and Labrador that opened their doors and brought Americans in and showed them, you know, what it is we are all about. And we are not a security threat by any means to our Americans. Now, when I interact with Americans, they see us in a similar light. It's the reason why nearly 35 or 36 states on any given day see Canada as their #1 trading partner. This is these trading partners are partnerships are what we want to strengthen, and we want to grow those relationships. You know, when we make decisions on who our trading partners would be with, we look for people that we can trust. We look for people that can be reliable. And I think we need to reset the discussion and get back to where we were, refresh our thoughts, and keep reminding ourselves this is the largest trading partnership that we have in the world. And Newfoundland and Labrador want to continue to play an important part of that.
Any indication that the president will join you on this
No,
invitation? I know, I guess you're being a little bit lighthearted in all of this, right? You don't really necessarily expect the president to go see Come From Away with you.
Well, there's been a tremendous response today, and this is a serious issue. And I can just point to one example of seeing tariffs that has been imposed unilaterally by the president and his administration on the newsprint industry in our province. We have 5,000 Newfoundlanders and Labradorians that's attached to this industry, and we're seeing a company right now that's connected to this, that does work in Newfoundland and Labrador, that were not even given the opportunity to have their say and making their argument of why these tariffs were unjustified. So it's about just resetting the discussion, about refreshing our thoughts about how important this relationship is with the United States of America, and just reminding the president and his administration that we should be looking for ways to strengthen that relationship and looking for new opportunities to make that relationship even better into the future.
Premier, good of you to take the time today. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
That is the Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, Dwight Ball, joining us from St. John's.
Feeling down about all this dreary June weather? Well, coming up, we'll take a cool dip into January's past.
Is that snow? Must be Labrador.
Welcome back. Time to meet some young athletes of the day. Here are Trinity and Gracie Reed. They're 7 and they're from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Yes, meet the Reed twins. Trinity and Gracie are an active duo who participate in archery and who have been bowling for 4 years with YBC.
Great work, girls. Congratulations. And let's meet another athlete of the day. This is Xavier Reed, aged 9 years old, also of Grand Falls, Windsor.
Xavier is a goalie for the Grand Falls Windsor Cataracts Novice 2 division. This is Xavier's 5th year playing hockey. He's also involved with YBC bowling and archery.
Wow, congratulations, Xavier. You are our young athlete of the day.
I wish everyone could see Jeremy's hand gestures just then.
I do. I think that's a pretty banging tune that we got there. And we get to hear it twice as long now for our 2 athletes of the day.
Tonight, 3.
Yes.
Given we had twins.
That's right.
Anyway, before we get to the weather, let's take a moment to mark the fact that summer is nowhere in sight yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
It's nice. I mean, like I've never seen such like foggy, weather. So it's kind of amazing for me. Exciting, yeah. Nice.
I'm just getting a bit of compost here to put in our garden. It's my wife turns 50 in a couple of weeks, so I'm building her a garden. It was kind of wet though. Actually, it's a bit mucky. I guess the weather is not cooperating.
And here it is, a Friday afternoon, and I can walk up and get a table and chair at any deck in the downtown. You guys looking for a nice deck to sit down on today?
Well, it's not much of a day for sitting on the deck.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's a whole different atmosphere when the sun is not out. All you need is that big magic ball in the sky, boy, and it's a totally different scene down here.
How's your garden looking so far this year?
Wet. But at least it's green.
There were sunny breaks in St. John's today, but it's been cold all day today too. The wind's nippy. Tonight, a frost warning. And remember, this is the first day of June.
It's hard to get up out of bed knowing that you gotta go out and, put your winter jacket on to go out in a June month. This morning was ridiculous. I woke up and it was freezing out. I had a sweater on, had to run back in and get my winter jacket.
Well, this feels a lot like probably the depth of autumn. In Toronto, this time of year, usually it's very, very hot.
You'll get all the seasons in a couple hours, around here. It's unbelievable.
The ghost of January's passed.
Yes.
So we wanted to give you something to smile about. So this photo was sent in to us by Alicia Barrett. I thought this was so cute. Photoshopped, obviously.
What? You mean that's not a real puffin wedding?
It's not real.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint.
Amazing, though.
Well, we do need a little bit of a lift, don't we?
We do.
So if we can't lift the temperatures, at least we can lift your spirits.
That's right. Especially, the folks on the West Coast looking at a pretty chilly evening tonight. Worth mentioning once again that we do have that frost advisory in place for the West Coast there. So as we get into the overnight hours, things are going to be fairly gray. We have the system that's going to be moving in tomorrow evening, bringing some rain to the island. Things staying fairly clear for Labrador, but this is a quick snapshot of what tomorrow is shaping up to be. We have 7 degrees as the high for St. John's tomorrow. These showers you see, that's for the late afternoon, early evening showers that will be coming, but mostly it's going to be a very cloudy day tomorrow. Winds not too bad, northwest 30 to 50. Temperatures barely cracking the double digits in Central, getting up to 15 degrees for Corner Brook there tomorrow. And Labrador looking at mostly a mix of sun and cloud, 15 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay tomorrow. That's looking like probably the nicest spot. That and Cartwright at 14 degrees tomorrow. So Thursday evening, that's when this system is going to move through. You can see all of the rain that it's going to bring to the island, and it's also going to keep things pretty cool. Labrador, not a whole lot happening there on Friday, so it's going to be a fairly nice day as you head into your weekend. But for the island in the east, we have those showers and 12 degrees as the high, so it's a little bit better than 7 degrees. Warmer though in central, 17 degrees with some showers, and a fairly nice day shaping up on the west coast on Friday, 16 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And western Labrador also not looking too bad, 15 with sun and cloud there. So Friday evening into Saturday, of course, that's what everyone wants to know, how Saturday is going to look. Right now we are looking at a chance of some showers on the island, also here along the coast, maybe even a flurry or two. So we're looking at a chance of showers pretty much for the entire island. I'd say it'll largely be a cloudy day with some quick shots of showers. So temperatures still on the cool side in the east, 11 degrees, 13 for central, 12 in the west. But western Labrador looking like a really nice Saturday, 17 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. So get out and enjoy it there for sure. Sunday, we're looking at another system coming through for Monday. Yeah, so we're not out of the woods. It's like we're keeping these systems just keep rolling through every few days. We're not getting that nice stretch of clear weather, and that's basically what we're looking at as we're starting the week next week. If you look at the weekend here, yeah, Saturday we're looking at some showers. Sunday looking like the better day of the two for the island for sure. The west looking at 17 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud on Sunday, but then yes, we have that wet weather moving through once again. For Labrador, Saturday looking great for Lab West, 17 degrees there. Sunday looking like the better day for Happy Valley Goose Bay, 19, and mix of sun and cloud. That's going to be lovely. But then you have that wet weather moving in once again. Jeremy?
In national and international news tonight, Canadian soccer fans are celebrating today because Canada, the United States, and Mexico have won a joint bid to co-host the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
The member associations of Canada, Mexico, and USA have been selected by the FIFA Congress to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Thank you.
So North America beat Morocco with 134 votes to 65. Now, Canadian cities to host games include Toronto, Edmonton, and Montreal. And that means host teams automatically qualify. So it should be the first time since 1986 that Canadians will get to play in the World Cup.
Of all the issues that could delay the government's plan to make pot legal, it's likely few would have expected it to be the right to grow marijuana at home.
We understand there are questions and concerns about this, and we understand also that it'll be important to study the impacts of what we're doing and whether there can be changes made in 3 years, but we need to move forward on better protecting our communities.
The government says Canadians' ability to grow pot for personal use is crucial to displacing the illegal market. But the Senate wants to amend the pot bill to give the provinces the right to ban personal cultivation. Quebec, Manitoba, and Nunavut all want to make home growing illegal. The amendment is one of 46 put forward by the Senate on the government's marijuana bill. The House says it will accept several of them.
The Supreme Court says Canada's prison system is using security tests that may discriminate against Indigenous offenders, and it may result in First Nations prisoners staying behind bars longer. In a 7-2 decision, the court found the Correctional Service of Canada failed to take steps to ensure that risk assessment tests used are valid and accurate for Indigenous offenders. The test helped decide which prison to send offenders and when they might be eligible for parole. Now, the case involves a Métis inmate who was convicted of murder and attempted murder of 2 young women. His lawyer argued the risk assessment tests were unreliable for Indigenous offenders.
Well, some disturbing testimony today at the inquiry into Elizabeth Wetlaufer. It's examining the systemic failures that allowed the former nurse to kill 8 nursing home patients in Ontario. The inquiry heard from one of her colleagues about Wetlaufer's focus on palliative residents. John Lasker has details from St. Thomas.
Karen Rutledge is a former nurse who worked at Crescent Care in Woodstock, Ontario. That's where Wetlaufer eventually confessed to killing 7 of her 8 victims. Rutledge described a haunting conversation she had with a co-worker who raised serious concerns about Wetlaufer.
Do you remember another staff member ever referring to Miss Wetlaufer as an angel of death?
Yes.
It was in conversation that Beth spent extra time with palliative residents, and that she had been overheard saying to a palliative resident that it was okay to die.
At the time, the conversation went unreported to authorities. The inquiry also heard about another potential red flag that was missed. It involved the sudden and unexpected death of Maureen Pickering. She became ill on Wetlaufer's watch. A doctor who tried to save Pickering advised the care home the coroner should investigate her death.
I called the coroner's office, the 1-800 number, and he called back and I passed on the information that this lady had been seen yesterday in Emerge regarding concerns I had about her condition, and that they had discovered an unexplained extremely low blood sugar.
It was Wetlaufer herself who passed that message on to Rutledge. Rutledge said the coroner called back about an hour later and decided no autopsy or investigation was needed. Wetlaufer went on to kill again. She injected all 8 of her victims with lethal amounts of insulin, causing their blood sugar levels to crash and their organs fail. The lawyer representing several of the victims' families says the inquiry is revealing troubling information about how Wetlaufer got away with her crimes for so long.
We're starting to add up all of the pieces. Any individual piece alone may not trigger anything, but certainly the accumulation of them would have shown that there was a large problem at this home.
Wetlaufer's crimes were finally uncovered in 2016 when she checked herself into a mental health facility and confessed. More of her former colleagues are expected to testify here in the coming days. John Lancaster, CBC News, St. Thomas, Ontario.
And here's today's viewer photo of the day. You can really get a sense of how big that iceberg is with the boat in the foreground there.
The only way I'll know where that is if I could identify the boat, right. Which I can't. But what a great picture.
Massive.
Just great. I'll let you know where that photo was snapped after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Edmonton's favorite gardeners are back. A herd of 200 goats are being corralled into Rundle Park.
So here they're going to eat up weeds that would otherwise be sprayed with pesticides. So the alternative pest control program has been a hit since the city banned pesticides last year. And thanks to a little training, these goats know how to snack smart.
Goats are browsers by nature, so they prefer the broadleaf plants. What's great about our goats is that they've been training to do this for a very long time, and they have a wide variety of weeds under their belt now. So when we come to sites, we can reliably say that we're going to clean up these weeds.
Go ahead.
The goats have been chowing down from now until September, and even their young will be taught which plants to go after.
So you could say that these kids are all right. God, that's terrible. Anyways, I want to know, how hard is it to train a goat, do you think? I not being a pet owner, it's just like, okay, you can eat this and you can't eat that.
Anyway, it's a natural way to keep the lawn down.
I wonder if they're free on the weekend to come to my house.
Well, if you're one of the thousands kept on edge by the escapades of one Minnesota raccoon, rest easy.
Where'd he go?
He's officially made it to the roof of this 25-story office building. The St. Paul's Star critter has captivated audiences down below and around the world for about 2 days. So after a brief rest on the 23rd floor, he scaled the whole structure. Now, animal control had bait and live traps at the ready, though we don't know yet if they've nabbed him. So either way, watch your back, Superman. There's a new masked hero in town. I saw some tweets about this earlier, and it went on for a while. And obviously, there he is taking a break on the 23rd floor.
That's amazing.
But it literally captivated people as, I think it was a radio station. That's the building of a radio station, and some of their employees were tweeting it as it made its way to the top, and there it goes.
Look at that.
That's pretty impressive. Well, it does have pretty big claws, or fingernails,
yeah, but
whatever it has.
it needs sticky things.
Well, those raccoons, they're wily little creatures.
Can you imagine taking a nap on a window ledge that high up?
Now, bear in mind that they live off eating garbage, so I think that they're different. Raccoons are a different breed. I know that we
didn't know that they had the ability to, like suction cups on their paws to get up like that. Anyway, I presume that all ended well.
Still alive. Well, he got to the top. Maybe he's gone to a better place, a new home, new building to climb. Who's to say?
Well,
the things you see, the things you learn on Here and Now.
Yeah. And here's another thing to see. The viewer picture that we showed you just before the break. Just a fantastic shot by one of the great photographers in our province right now.
We're always happy to hear from Alex Swee, and I think he's over in this part of the province, although he may travel. So where was the shot taken?
Well, it was in Bonavista. Vista.
Seems to be the hotbed of icebergs. That's 2 this week, is it not?
Yeah.
And I think the Bonavista area was where Mark Gray took that one that went viral not too long ago. It was in the BBC, it was in NBC, CBS, it was all over the world. That beautiful one that had a little bit of a hole in the bottom.
Yes, yes.
But that's a great shot. We love icebergs. How can you not like icebergs?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks very much.
How can you not like, now, if only you had a raccoon climbing the iceberg, I think we'd have a viral video on our hands.
We could Photoshop that. Yeah. We're just about finished, but just want to give a plug to our show again tomorrow night. Here are now regular news from 6 to 6:30, that's Island time. And then we've got the special back half of the program on everyone's favorite basketball player, Carl English. And I guess
you're not going to want to miss it. There's a lot of great footage. He opened up to me. He said a lot of stuff that we haven't heard before. So tune into that, and thanks for tuning in tonight.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.